You're back, and just in time for our final game of the day, where Team Liquid aims to lock a playoff bye versus Echo Fox. Team Liquid coming to this match with the quest to secure that bye, looking towards their 4-peat, Chad.
Yeah, and a win here does secure that bye. Not first quite yet, though, because CLG is still on that tear, and a 4-peat in the LCS would be unprecedented because it's never happened before, but the runway seems to be laid out for Team Liquid to do just that, right? They have looked like the best team almost throughout this entire summer split. The likely competitors to them in ESM from spring haven't necessarily looked that great in summer split, and it's about them making sure they can ramp up, play their game, and get back to that top level to try and go towards that 4th championship in a row.
And I think it's tough because you look at their losses, you're like, okay, you know, maybe Team Liquid aren't as strong as they were before, and then you look back at the standings, you're like, oh, they're still first.
Wait a minute, they won a bunch of games. They did have that loss to Cloud9 last week, though, but that's not to say that they always storm into playoffs on a huge winning streak. As early as spring split, they actually had a series of losses right before playoffs, and it kind of brought into question whether or not they'd be able to pull it together. So you would like to see TL not fall into that again and have a quick and decisive win against an Echo Fox team who has really struggled the whole split.
Certainly at least want this one to lock that bye up, but we'll see what the draft brings us as, I imagine, relatively straightforward things. Corki, Xayah, always nice to see them both banned, because that means the mid lane will be something different. Karma, Yuumi, Sejuani, and Sona going to round them out.
Yeah, especially against Fenix, who seems to really only play Corki and Xayah lately. As
He's
far
very
as
good at both those champions.
Before. Yeah. So smart bans.
Akali also maybe open things up. Jensen has been quite good on the pick. I don't believe Impact has played it yet, but there's always potential, but I'm expecting that to go towards the mid lane. Xayah, though, the pick here for Apollo, and Rakan going to join right after. I do like that Echo Fox are at least trying to put aggressive tools into their long-time duo's hands.
Yeah, important to have Hakuho on a champion who has the ability to make plays. Also should note that Solo is back in the lineup for Echo Fox. Lorlo had been getting the nod for the last several games. Interesting stat, as far as damage percentage, so that's the percentage of the team's damage an individual player does. Solo ranked first amongst NALCS, or rather LCS top laners this year. Lorlo ranked towards the bottom, so the team definitely has a different look when Solo was in the top lane.
And we'll see. Oh, it's a classic. Caitlyn Morgana for Doublelift and CoreJJ. We've been beating people up in solo queue with this, and some LCS games too this split.
Yeah, huge range. A lot of safety. Look for them to try and go for a lot of early turret plates. There's still the potential that they could move the Morgana elsewhere. It's possible to be played in the mid lane, but like you say, probably down in the bot lane.
Well, we'll see what happens, but always nice to see them wanting to play aggressive into an aggressive 2v2 lane, so bottom lane could be quite the hotbed of activity. Jarvan, though, for MikeYeung is going to complete the first phase for Echo Fox. Makes sense with Sejuani ban. Want to give MikeYeung a champion he is well-versed on.
Yeah, I'd like to see Echo Fox ban Gragas at some point for good initiations from Xmithie. The Skarner is probably what he'll end up going for. You could ban both, obviously, but there we go, there's Skarner ban.
Maybe Gragas.
I couldn't quite think of, like, what would I actually rather ban aside from the 2 junglers, and apparently they're still just ban the 2 junglers.
At least one. Also Silas going to get banned away here. Another potential jungler, but also a laner.
Yeah. Would be banned as a laner against Echo Fox.
Yes.
Here, though.
See if this is Gragas. Kind of brings to mind Rek'Sai. I mean, very hard to completely shatter the jungle pool, given that most players have pretty deep pockets, but they will actually ban the Rek'Sai.
I think he's going Gragas then, pace your time.
It's time for Gragas solo lane Echo Fox. Commit to the plan.
Deny, deny, deny.
Alright, Team Liquid, one more ban away here. Just wanting to set up probably this mid lane, actually, with Jensen potentially. A lot of consideration, apparently. They'll tick that timer down. Eventually, they will settle on Kennen, away from solo.
Yeah, they may not have expected so many targeted jungle bans towards Xmithie. A lot of times, if a team is waiting down the draft timer for like a second ban, they could actually just be discussing the future and making as much time possible. It's like, okay, we're going to ban Kennen, but wait, we're going to keep talking. Potentially what happened there.
Yeah, maybe talking about what they think this pick is, and not too surprising if they do lock this in. Aatrox, likely for solo there in the top lane, so
yeah,
interesting to pick it there, giving Fenix kind of pick actually by the looks of things.
Yeah, well, I like it for Echo Fox actually because Kennen had been Impact's counterpick against the Aatrox top lane, which is generally where it's traditionally been. Obviously, Liquid didn't want them to be able to blind pick Kennen, but now I wonder what Impact has left. He could play the Akali into it. I think that's a skill matchup, but what else do they got? Does he bring out the Gangplank?
It's always time for Trundle for
Trundle.
Xmithie, because again, there's like 6 jungle bans, including the picks that have happened. But certainly a standby there for Xmithie that he has played already this split, I believe. And GP, I think, makes sense as well for Impact, but we'll see what Liquid do want to finish off their game with. Again, not expecting that Akali to go to Impact, but there is always the option. But with 5 seconds left, it does seem like Team Liquid have decided on Gangplank.
Yeah, that's actually a champion that Solo has a lot of familiarity playing. It's usually Solo you see on that side of the GP matchup, so I feel like Liquid would be fairly happy with that. I think Impact's Gangplank has been quite solid over the years.
And now Echo Fox, what have they kind of given to themselves here for this final pick? There's not much left for Fenix with Azir and Corki ban, but Zoe's certainly one of his more competent champions as well.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Zoe's making the rounds in LCS Scrim
She
this
always
weekend.
comes back.
I feel like Echo Fox and FlyQuest probably were each other's scrim partners for a good part of this week, and they both had success on Zoe. That's probably why we've seen Phoenix and Pobelter playing it so much.
Curious into Akali, but again, I think mostly skill-based there. Zoe's best matchups tend to be when she doesn't interact with you very often. Akali's best matchups is where she consistently interacts with you, so
yeah.
There's kind of a dichotomy there with the mid laners are trying to do very different things. Otherwise, I think very standard drafts for both sides. TL have been really straight and narrow with almost all their drafts, and Echo Fox, I think, just trying to play what they know best.
Yeah, I remember back in 2018, we'd always have this debate on the analyst desk about whether Phoenix's Zoe was really good or whether it was actually really bad, and that's why he got to play it. Because that was back when Zoe was banned in almost every game, and he was on a very successful Echo Fox back then, and they'd have Huni on that team, and they'd always draw a bunch of bans, so he'd be like, wow, Phoenix is 6-0 on Zoe. That's like 5 more wins than anyone else has, because literally no one else got to play it, but he'd always win on it. So I was of the opinion that his Zoe was actually quite solid, so we'll see how he performs now when the pick isn't quite as universally considered strong, but still pulling it out with the Azir and the Corki ban.
Similar to Akali. Oh, interesting. We'll see how it all shakes out here. As Echo Fox and TL will take the roof. TL looking for that buy. Need one of the next 2, and of course, would like to win out the weekend and get themselves first. But might as well start here. For Echo Fox, we'll see. I do like what's happening in the bottom lane, though. I believe these were the first 2 players to show us this, and they're going to do it again.
Take it away. What are the double Halo Blades here?
Dunno.
What? You said they're the ones to show it this.
In general, everyone knows about the whole W for Rakan and Xayah being nice and synergistic. I think it's just all inning on that level 1 and 2 power as best you can. I believe Apollo and Hakuho are the first 2 players to do this in LCS, and it looks like they've decided that, you know what? We don't just want to play aggressive, we want to play hyper-aggressive in the 2v2.
So this is something that TL would have been able to see on the loading screen, the double Halo Blades. I agree with you as far as where it's going to show its early power, the Xayah Rakan synergy for extra feathers, just all in them at level 1. The problem would be mid-game, late game, right? It front loads all of their damage. It doesn't give them the lane sustain you'd see from something like Fleek Footwork or the sustained damage you'd see from something like Press the Attack. So yeah, if they fall behind early in this lane, there's not going to be too many ways to come back at it, but should make for an interesting early game.
Well, Apollo has a CS lead, so already winning in the 2v2. Certainly a tough ask to do anything really into the power of Doublelift and CoreJJ, but I do like that Echo Fox are deciding to be aggressive, because historically that is where Apollo and Hakuho have found a ton of their success as a duo, is just playing aggressively, usually being led by Hakuho's wonderful skill shots.
Yeah, and looking at the jungle matchup, Xmithie on Trundle, you don't expect him to be able to have an early gank. TL spend a generous amount of time pulling red buff, because there ain't no way they're going to walk up a level 1 towards the level 1 spike of Xayah Rakan. But actually, Apollo and Hakuho are maybe hoping they get a little aggressive to see if they want to try and get an all-in. It is difficult to all-in the Caitlyn Morg, just from a range perspective.
Yeah, again, getting in is the hard part. But and Doublelift and CoreJJ are very practiced. These 2 champions. Doublelift especially has played a ton of Caitlyn in his time. Nice ward kill as well, so answering back for the earlier one that Apollo got.
That's a little strange to me that they were able to get level 2 first and that Apollo and Hakuho backed off the wave.
I mean,
because now the minion wave is basically too big for them to go in, and they'll have to wait until level 3 before they try anything.
I would, you know, generally say that they're worried about the jungle, but I agree with you.
Yeah,
Not too worried about the Trundle level 2/3 gank coming in. And as we know, of course, Xmithie's on the other side of the map, which maybe they could have figured out given that Doublelift and CoreJJ were a little late to lane, but that's maybe too many steps to think through right now. And as things stand, the keep away part of this lane is working out for Doublelift and CoreJJ, getting that big minion wave to the turret nice and early, and this is exactly where Caitlyn and Morg want the lane to be.
Yeah, there will be a very small window when Hakuho and Apollo hit, oh, never mind. I thought there was going to be a window where they could hit level 3, but they've actually been pushed in with the timing of the waves that CoreJJ gets Black Shield, because CoreJJ had gone QW, but he knows exactly what he's doing, never gives Apollo and Hakuho a window to engage, and now they also have river control.
Hakuho looking for it, but a good E there from Doublelift gets him out of there. But yeah, I mean, even on his own, Rakan base AD, very high.
True, actually. That was one of the biggest single base AD buffs ever when Rakan had a little bit of work done like 4 patches ago. It was either, at one point, Rakan was going to gain 12 base AD. I think it ended up being like 10 AD.
And then everyone went mad and played him mid for a while. And then we got over that, thankfully. But CoreJJ, also a top tier roam, they're leaving that lane. Sweeping, getting a ward down, and snaring the Scuttle card for Xmithie to take the armor off it. Truly a top tier support here is MikeYeung, not quite getting the last hit onto that ward, and we'll actually check in with topside, even on farm between Impact and Solo. Looks like the wave right now is actually pushing towards Impact. But GP again, generally just wants to poke you out and collect his money. So not too worried. If the lane is even and in a good spot, Impact, I assume, is very happy.
Yeah, basically just trying to farm up until he can get a Sheen, and then there's actually situations where he can do quite well in the laning phase. I think Grasp, GP in particular, still sometimes has the misconception that it's like a very weak laner. Yes, it can get punished by ganks, but if he's just allowed to sit there and queue you with Grasp procs, he can end up doing a pretty considerable amount of chip damage. TL is just a very good bottom lane.
Yeah, continuing their run of form here. I was actually checking in mid right now. Looks like Fenix has used all his mana to push the wave in. MikeYeung potentially looking for something here. Did dip mid for a moment, but now actually looking into the bottom lane. Hakuho again. Hellblade's getting in there. CoreJJ and Doublelift now kiting back towards the mid laner, but TP in from Fox. It's fairly all in. All right, Doublelift is like, goodbye, CoreJJ, I'll miss you. And actually, they're going to maybe spring the trap. MikeYeung, over he goes. He lands a slow, but Doublelift puts a trap down, and he's out of there. So CoreJJ, how did you get out of that? Nice splash, buddy. Getting out from under the bubble.
They both get away from the 5-man when they roam into river? Some commitment issues from the Echo Fox team right there. They just had to all in on one of them, really, and I think they would have got it. But Doublelift goes over the wall. They make the right call to split up, and they miraculously get out of that one.
Well, Impact at least TP's back to top lane to get this wave pushed in and keep his tempo up. So Solo is not at a TP disadvantage, although now with the Sheen being finished for Impact, he's feeling really good about the lane prospects.
Yeah, perfect timing. And with Solo not having TP, the Q poke that can stack up pretty quickly, very important. But
does not having night. Oh my goodness, that all in would have worked, but I think you can see MikeYeung out of there. He goes, using both the dashes to get to safety, and Jensen very well played.
Yeah, it looks like Ignite for nothing as far as the ultimates are, or sorry, as far as the summoner spells are concerned, but Jensen will just have to TP back into the lane.
Going Hextech here as well, so wants a little bit more all-in power. Then trying to shake off the poke with the lifesteal from the Vamp/Bilge. TL, business as usual here. Fenix has gotten a small CS lead, although I think Jensen will even that up now that he's TP'd back. And Fenix is still very low on life, so he knows that they can't really pressure with this Drake, so TL just going to walk here and take it.
Yeah, when the Ignite does not get you a kill, it will then lose out to the teleport in terms of wave pressure. That, along with the bottom lane pushing, is what allows TL to go and get this early Ocean Drake, which will only empower their laning more so. The Potion Master GP up top lane, the shove team down bot who has Black Shield to try and prevent all-ins. Would have liked to see more attempts by the double hail of blades, Xayah, Rakan down bottom lane, but even at level 6, that double hail of blades will have a large amount of front-loaded damage if they can somehow work around that black shield.
Got to be careful about this stuff,
But
though.
speaking
Getting
of black
into
shield,
the trap, that looks like a kill for Doublelift. No, not yet. The shield's up. GP on Ignite. CoreJJ with the first blood.
Nice binding and nice team coordination. This will be a ton of plates for TL as the cannon minion goes, and they still even have the push top lane because GP has, I guess, the Ocean Drake and enough prio on solo. Great early game so far from TL. And Echo Fox just can't find any way to punish. You saw Fenix almost roaming down from the top lane, realized he can't get anything done, and 3 plates by 8 minutes.
I think they often talk about, you know, the tipping point in a lot of lanes is always the jungler. You know, he's coming to the lane, he's making it uneven, just really giving you a bad time. I think the equalizer of bottom lane, at least, is Gangplank. But we'll hold that thought as MikeYeung here looking for that counter gank. Not in range.
He's 6 and they have no flash! But yeah, couldn't even get in range for an EQR. Also probably worried about the Morgana ult on the turn. Yeah, watch this one more time. Literally just bind landing. Black shield perfectly timed by CoreJJ. Also gives him Guardian for a little bit of move speed. Notice how Doublelift actually steps up to get an extra auto attack in. And Ignite plus GP gets the kill.
Nicely played there. First blood gets it over to TL. They're up a little over 1,000 gold. Although Hakuho and Apollo getting some damage done, will not get a plate by the looks of things, although the minions are working very hard to try and make that the case. Got a minion down. A little bit more. All right, not going to happen. Protected for now. It does go down, but I don't believe the gold goes over as enough time has passed. So
yeah.
Doublelift making it in time.
Yeah, I actually think that's an ideal scenario for Team Liquid, denying the 160 turret plate gold.
Got a bunch of their own plate gold as well, and the push will continue. Zerkagreaves done for Doublelift alongside that BF sword is a good amount of pushing power. And now blue buff gonna get donated over to Jensen. How stylish will he make it look? Gonna flip over the wall and get the last hit. Oh,
Yeah,
he did the easy way.
The reliable way.
Yeah, the way where you don't
The
look
good
silly
way.
when you miss it. You have to go back. Your jungle laughs at you. Yeah. All right. Fenix, I mean, double drones. He's tried to play aggressive here, but he's not been able to quite find anything onto Jensen just yet. TL just happy with some stylish looking barrel chains by impact, and again, a slow, steady game where they're tracking the enemy jungler and pushing up their bottom lane. TL really just don't miss too many steps.
Yeah, I mean, exactly at 10 minutes is the Rift Herald for Xmithie. Those are the types of things you can do when you're under absolutely no pressure. He has nowhere that he needs to be. He has no lanes that he needs to be there to support in the moment. Jensen is cheating over towards the Rift Herald side because he knows that if the jungler does approach, it will be Mike. Let's just see if he gets a little too comfortable here, though, because Mike is actually in the right spot for a gank here. Fenix
looking for the proto belt into the bubble. Actually going to go back in for Jensen. Going to put the shroud down. Now knows where MikeYeung is, so he can get to the safety of his teammates. And MikeYeung and Fenix actually can't even chase through that brush without vision. So Jensen going to get away from that one nice and easy.
Yeah, Mike and Fenix have struggled to find synergy since Mike was added towards the lineup. Although Jensen didn't actually leave a huge window for a gank there, despite taking the E2 in towards Fenix. He had his shroud up that whole time.
Again, just happy to push things in, contain the Zoe, and look for opportunities when they come. Impact in the meantime. Ooh, big chunk of damage there by Solo. Solo actually holding a small CS lead here. Continuing what's been a very strong showing for him, despite Echo Fox's lackluster season.
Yeah, we'll see if he can make any plays now that his teleport's back up. You can tell the TL is kind of refocusing on the style that has won them 3 consecutive NALCS splits. Well, 2 consecutive NALCS splits and 1 consecutive LCS split. Conveniently, all 3 of them have been in North America.
That's true.
I need to get in the habit of dropping the NA backcasting.
3 titles in a row. Still all the same. MikeYeung in there. Good luck shields from CoreJJ. Hakuho looking for the charm. Does get the knock-up follow-up onto Doublelift, who will flash out of the way, but Solo now going to TP down, looking to make that big play you talked about, but now Solo going to get turned back around on Doublelift lives to tell the tale. Ult up from Apollo. The turret's dead. It's absolute bedlam here in the bot lane. Jensen swoops in, takes down Apollo. All 5 from TL still alive, and Jensen looking for that perfect execution. Gonna take down Hakuho.
They get 4-0, and Shelly is still alive. Does Jensen take this? He could take it. It wouldn't be wise. And Jensen's a smart dude, so he doesn't go in for Fenix. I think Shelly, they don't even bother making sure the second charge gets off if Fenix does want to kill this, because they want to get their map priority back, and Shelly gets the charge. Woo!
Fenix, collect your 50 gold. There we go. All right, so let's watch this again.
Yeah, this could not have gone better. If Mike is going to flash EQ, it would be nice to be able to stop the Rift Herald there, but they thought they'd be able to get the all-in on a Doublelift. Watch how close this is from Solo. CC'd at the last second, so he can't get Doublelift. And by this point, Echo Fox is so overcommitted that Jensen walking on the backside ends up being easy pickings.
Did just miss his ult flash for what it's worth. It's actually surprisingly hard to land Akali ult 1
True.
and flash, but he did the rest of it right. Managed to clean up the double kill at the end of the day. And sitting with a 200 gold bounty, a bottom lane tower severely broken to give TL almost 3,000 gold up. Again, a team that does not miss many steps. There's still a Mountain Drake to take with. That's about the only fault for right now.
Yeah, I think there could have been a little bit of a fear of a trap game, even though they are likely to finish first. I think oftentimes TL would look past the Echo Fox game and zero in on the TSM game that they have tomorrow, which is ultimately what will probably define if they actually lock in that #1 seed in the playoffs, with CoreJJ kind of close on their heels. But doesn't seem like they have missed any steps in the game here. Doublelift and CoreJJ are as astute as ever down in the bottom lane, going into that double Hail of Blade Xayah Rakan lane, and never really feeling like they're in danger of any type of 2v2, consistently getting turret pressure, consistently getting kills. Now with the bottom turret down, they, again, just make the right play without even really lag. They swap the Gangplank down bottom, they get their Caitlyn Morg mid to start working on that turret, they swap Akali into the side lanes and set up the mid game. They're already there before Echo Fox is really even ready for it. You can see Apollo's up in the top lane, so the matchup is off.
And to me, this is the discipline and kind of clinical nature of Team Liquid that has made them so consistently good at winning championships. We'll hold on to that thought though, as Solo about to get himself 2v1 tiers. Xmithie gonna take him down, TP's coming in. Oh, what a deny! Pillar from Xmithie, gonna shut that down, and then Jensen nails the perfect execution, gonna follow up there to take down Apollo, and MikeYeung left out to dry. Who's gonna collect the bounty? It is Impact, he shoots him down for the killing spree.
Wow, that was an amazing pillar by Xmithie. You don't see Trundle that often, but the reactive pillar to interrupt a Jarvan EQ is something I almost never see. So very good job by Xmithie right there, especially because that is what saved Impact's life. Beautifully done as they pick up the kills, and yet another Drake.
And with the Mountain Drake now in the pockets of Team Liquid, they are on the verge of the Split's only perfect game.
Ooh.
If they can hold this spot. Mid lane going down
I
as well.
that. Perfect game tracker. 50 minutes, 40 seconds, and let's watch this one more time. Xmithie slightly ahead of MikeYeung. They get a bunch of damage on a Solo, and watch this. Mike is going to go in for an EQ, but nope! It's so fast, right? Interrupting the EQ with the baby knockup from the pillar. And by the way, Jensen's here now, so he kills him. As the teleport did come in from the Xayah on the top side. Map pressure continues. So 5K gold lead, actually not the biggest gold lead we've seen at 16 minutes, right? We've seen 10 or 12K in certain instances, but as you mentioned, no turrets down, no Rift Heralds given up, no dragons gone, no deaths. That would be what we would define as a perfect game if TL can stay deathless and keep all their turrets alive. They did lose a turret plate, if we're counting one of those.
That does not count.
But it did go to minions, so you never really
Even more perfect!
Yeah.
Jensen still up here in the top side. That seems to be his current assignment. Like I said, Team Liquid very well drilled to where they need to be. It's one of the reasons they have been so consistent. There is some pressure from Apollo and Hakuho, but take it all back as Team Liquid again already rotating Doublelift and CoreJJ up there. Hakuho gonna try and find the pick. Doublelift, is he gonna be the one to give up the game? Gonna get dunked. MikeYeung takes him down right as I said it. It's all over. CoreJJ running back towards the safety of his teammates, but Doublelift is not so lucky.
Doublelift. What are you doing, man? Flash, heal, burn, still dies. Just, we're talking about how well drilled they are, and then he's got a little solo Caitlyn mission through the jungle trying to get some traps down. Good job by EchoFox, though, to get on the board and try and keep some hope alive in this game.
Still got the top outer turret, I guess. So 3-0 up in turrets as Jensen hunting for one of these two. I don't think he wants one of these three, though. Yeah, I'm going to have to get out of there. 3v1, not looking so hot right now. But the sheer amount of control Team Liquid will have to hold on to because Doublelift walks a silly way back home.
It looked like the Black Shield might have been just a quarter second too late after the knockup had come through, but here comes Jensen.
Now more fun stuff. Whee! Oh, Impact got it. Jensen actually has ulti too. He's going to try this on to MikeYeung. Execution is real good. Gets the passive auto, and that's an easy kill. Now Fenix going to walk up here and try and find something on the other side. Auto jump exhaust, looks for the bubble. Jensen jukes right around it.
Yeah, actually very important that Jensen juked that because he'd used all of his cooldowns picking up those 2 kills, but whew, that's a fed Akali, and that play was clean, even if he had missed the flash R in the previous bottom lane fight. Very easily able to take down those 2.
He also got a double stun after Eing in the bottom lane play from earlier. For those of you that don't know, you can use ulti out of any portion of Akali's redash from E. So you can do some real Lee Sin geometry if you want to get creative.
Yeah, a lot of times the spell has a lockout if you're currently in another move order, but not the Akali one. So sometimes you'll see the teleport follow all the way across the map. You can cancel that at any time with the R.
That's no fun. Yeah. No one should ever cancel that. It's MikeYeung barely going to miss the cancel on that recall. I think 2 just got away. It's TL. Maybe a little too far forward for that, but Jensen, real clean Akali play here.
He just walks right past Mike. Mike can't quite get his EQ. Poor Apollo uses ultimate for nothing, and then Mike, as a not so tanky tank Lee Sin, goes down as well. Or sorry, tank Jarvan.
Don't think he had that stopwatch either, for what it's
Probably
worth.
not. Wouldn't have mattered. It would have actually been a wasted stopwatch.
That's true.
The rest of his team there.
Still gonna die. Well, Jensen's ulti is almost back up, so we can maybe look for that play again. In fact, both the solo laners from Team Liquid combining for 900 extra gold as far as bounties go. So it's been a great game for both of them. Just taking over the map alongside their always consistent bottom lane, and Team Liquid still hunting for blood through the red side jungle.
Yeah, with the Mountain Drake, I think they're just getting rid of the vision as much as possible because they're going to be working towards a Baron. And as you bring up the bounties, that just reminded me of a solo queue game I played earlier this week.
Oh, I'm ready.
Just a tip out there for anyone who isn't one of those, doesn't like surrendering in a game. The simplest thing you can do when you're losing is just tell your team, kill the people with the bounties.
Just click on them.
That's why they're there. That's why there's gold above them, is to say this is how you get back in the game. These are the most valuable kills. Sometimes it actually works. It sounds like you're trolling. You kind of are, but it is still good advice.
Don't even have to speak to them. Just on the way ping and click the bounty a bunch of times.
I don't know about the pinging. A lot of times that can come off as like passive aggressive or something.
Maybe you just click the bounty.
I like the typing. Because that's like, oh, look how fed he is. I could see that being bad.
All right, Jensen getting pulled back by it. Solo's in kind of trouble. Had to burn World Ender here as TL looking to bash down the front door. Hakuho poised for some sort of engage. Fenix with the barrier gets some extra move speed, but Xmithie keeps them all away with that pillar as Doublelift and CoreJJ finish up turret number 6.
Speaking of the pings, did you see Jizuke's pro view earlier today?
Yes.
I wonder if there's like some team strategy about that, but he actually muted one of his teammates' pings at the start of the game in a pro game. Like, I could see maybe like, hey, the top laner and jungler really love pinging at each other and Jizuke doesn't want to get distracted or something. But if it's not that, that could be a little bit concerning, one would say.
They're still talking. I'm going to assume it's okay. There's the second mountain over to TL as well. So if we're going to go from Turbo Baron to Hyper Turbo Baron. I guess Super Turbo Baron may be more appropriate. Doublelift here, going to cruise into the mid lane with the rapid fire cannon freshly completed. That's going to make the siege mission upcoming soon that much simpler. And this gold lead's getting out of hand. We're 8k up now for Team Liquid. It's starting to look like a Baron steal attempt is maybe the one place that Fox can look to right now.
Yep. And I think even if they get the Baron steal, they're still going to be in trouble because they don't have the ability to win any 1v1s in side lanes. They can't 5v5. Jensen can kill anyone who steps up. So TL does have the shortest average game time of all teams in the LCS so far, and they're going to try and shorten it here. They're only 22 minutes in, and I think they're going to try and get the Baron before 25 and then end before 27.
Yep. Step up also, you have to be careful. It's not like don't go within melee range. It's like don't go within the same screen as Jensen, especially when he has his ult up. And again, just using all that pressure, pushing through. TL never one to miss a sweep through the enemy jungle. They are very clinical in how they set up for their objectives. Slowly but surely, sweepers go on. And we're ready for Baron in just a few moments here.
Yeah, mid priority is going to be quite important. It's about starving out the wards on the other team as well. There are actually no active blue trinkets left on Echo Fox, so even though they do have control wards, their vision is blacked out, and if they do want to get additional vision, they actually do have to step up. Their tools for checking Fog of War with this team comp are actually not amazing. They don't have a Lux who can throw an E in there. They don't have Hawk Shots or Ezreal ultimates to check, so it's going to be quite dangerous for Echo Fox to check, and that's what TL is kind of relying on in trying to set up this pick towards the Baron area.
Feels also like a... Oh, I hold that thought actually, Jensen. This is that first Q onto MikeYeung, but he's actually guarding for the rest of his team. Xmithie and Doublelift gonna try the old two-man Baron.
Yeah, and they can do this right now, Doublelift over the wall, because they can actually threaten a pick as well.
Ooh, Hakuho, good double knockup. Finds the third shot on a Doublelift as well. They're gonna dive in. Doublelift forced to flash over the wall, but nice GP ult from Impact as CoreJJ is forced away. Jensen gonna get over, but Fenix does claim the kill onto Core. Nice follow-up from Solo, gets Impact, but Gangplank gonna be safe.
Yeah, clutch stop there from Echo Fox, actually catching TL while they were trying to sneak it over the wall. I think TL wasn't expecting Fox to all in through fog like that, but because Xmithie didn't flash over the wall to join the fight and TL actually decided to bail out of this one, it ends up leaving CoreJJ out to dry. Like watching this one more time, Hakuho's decisiveness gets Jensen fairly low. I do wonder what happens though if Xmithie immediately flashes over the wall and then Doublelift just kites back to the left, if they could actually win that fight, but because they opted to bail out, they lose CoreJJ.
Yep, so gonna have to go back and kind of do some of that work again. Team Liquid still have a Baron Pit control with that control ward there, but they kind of lost all the deep vision they placed in the jungle, so back to kind of doing that all again. Hakuho also, yeah, you gotta be careful. Jensen over the wall finds that first stun. Lining up the ulti, Jensen wants it, but he gets interrupted by the EQ. Gonna have to get out of there, has his flash, should be okay. Gonna walk back towards the team.
Wow, that was quite ambitious from Jensen, but doesn't even have to burn his flash.
I appreciate that little cupcake drop there from Peter.
Yeah.
Just making sure Zoe doesn't come over the wall. Team Liquid again get most of the vision out of there. They still have one in the tri-bush just to the left of Baron, and TL do need to get the wave pushed back out. So Fox are at least buying time in this game, given the double mountain and how big the gold lead has grown for Team Liquid in this game. It's actually good on them for holding on to the Baron for this long. But Team Liquid know that they don't have to be worrying about anything for quite a while in this game. One of the benefits of getting a nice big lead is Fenix. Right side of the pillow there for that one.
Xmithie just again trying to push up mid lane a little bit. The mid priority will be the key towards this Baron, but because of the false start TL had, probably pick up that fourth Drake before turning their head towards Baron again.
Impact also quite powerful here.
Yeah.
It's got like, I would say 3 items to 2. If you want to consider the Last Whisper and the Executioner's Calling is basically being 1 item, especially against Aatrox. So despite the CS discrepancy in that 1v1, Impact, especially with his ulti, has more than enough pressure for the rest of this map, and Fenix is doing a nice job finding bubbles, but it needs to commit a lot more if he wants to try and get some sort of pick off here.
Yeah, Jensen actually can't step back up to that wave because of the chunk Fenix put towards him. Going back to Impact, 2,000 gold lead over Solo.
That'll do it.
And Xmithie looking for something. Maybe just hoping MikeYeung jumps in on him so he can ult him and get all the resist for a fight.
Seems like a bait. Just hoping to get some cooldowns there. It just slaps down the ward. Jensen, with a bit of help from the Ocean Drake, gets healthy enough. And CL do have a Drake they could take off the map here, but I think much more concerned about wanting to take this Baron for themselves and just kind of put the final few nails in this game. Impact actually getting in there. But with Apollo approaching, does not go too much further forward. Again, just Such good continual pressure here from Team Liquid, and now Fox have to face check the Fog of War.
Yep. Not one ward remaining that is getting zoned out by GP Barrels, but they have begun. The Baron Echo Fox does have to face check, as you mentioned, and Jensen is looking for a flank.
Beware of the surprise
they
Akali.
Fight here.
Jensen, he wants it. Over the top he goes. He over the wall, finds a stun. Looks to execute MikeYeung. GP ult down. Kind of goes and burn, but Jensen certainly unstoppable as he takes down the Jarvan.
Yeah, when in doubt, go for the enemy jungler. Mike is the one who actually has to check because he is the tankiest person with self-escape, but only so much you can do down 8,000 gold versus this type of vision denial.
Ooh, Jensen getting bubbled. Really nice shot there from Fenix. Gonna
Follow
follow up. Stun Blade. Jensen, Shroud, over the top. Impact already got the kill on Rakan as the fight happens in the bottom side of the map. Jensen, they're trying to get out of here. Ignite down. That's a good shutdown. 900 gold for Fenix, but Solo gonna try and get his way out of there. Xmithie low, but not felled just yet. And Fenix still looking, not gonna quite clip Doublelift with that bubble. So Fox will continue to hold off TL against this Baron.
Yeah, it feels like Fenix is kind of single-handedly keeping Echo Fox in this game. Even the previous Baron attempt by TL was thwarted thanks to a good bubble in the catch right behind the red buff by Echo Fox. And that one was because Fenix solo killed Jensen up top and then zoned them down bottom. They actually get a Drake as well.
I mean, better than nothing. Doublelift gonna chase him down, but doesn't seem like TL have kills that they can get. Solo also gonna threaten Doublelift there, and Doublelift wisely does not walk back through the choke point into the Aatrox queue. But that does, of course, mean that with the bottom half objective gone, it is reset time, and then straight back to Baron as Xmithie. A little too far forward to be recalling, but he should be okay.
Yeah, Deathcap Ludens on Fenix. The vision control is still there for Team Liquid, and they have double Mountain, so at a certain point you wonder if they would just turn and burn the Baron. They haven't been willing to do that, though. I can respect it, understand why they never want to get into those 50-50 situations, never want to chance a steal by the enemy jungler, especially with the gold lead. They should be able to get this cleanly, but Echo Fox kind of freezing that gold lead at about 8,000. Trying to slowly work up towards the point where Apollo could maybe have an Infinity Edge, but here we go, on a Baron, one more time.
Yeah, still have to, again, keep TL off this objective at every cost. Impact gonna chase down Solo once again. Guess it's correct that he's alone, and yeah, they're now gonna use the GP ult, gonna force the flash out. CoreJJ looking for the sniper binding, pillar up, ready to go. Oh, barely, not enough. Actually, it is enough, never mind. I take it all back, Doublelift gets the kill. We'll sort that one out later, and TL now in a 5v4.
How did he get it?
I don't know either. That's why I kept going.
Yeah, does he have Scorch or something with the Caitlyn?
Ooh, that would be a spicy one.
Or it might have been a minion that killed him afterwards. We'll have to see that in a close replay if they don't end it right here. But, oh, that's another kill.
Nice barrel there from Impact. Gonna take down MikeYeung. And they busted through the midsection as a result.
It was the Death Dance burn. Obviously, nothing crazy. Anyway. Yeah, who needs Baron? Apparently they're just going to push to end.
Yep, not TL. By the looks of things, it's a 5v3 with the Nexus turrets being shredded as Apollo, Hakuho, and Fenix try and put together one last little defense. But the Nexus turrets are now dead. You got to do something, trying to protect your base. Binding there onto Apollo. Jensen with the black shield on him. Just cues the minions. TL slowly but surely gonna guide them into the Nexus. Hakuho looking for the engage, doesn't quite find it, gets rooted on the spot by a Caitlyn trap, I believe. And now Solo diving in once again. Gonna get stunned by Morgana, trapped down, doesn't quite connect. TL though still trying to fight their way through into the Nexus. That's 2 kills once again. They're gonna jump in as Xmithie can see that the win is right in front of them. Jensen looking to tie things together. No ulti, but goes back to his Shroud just to make sure. Shut down again! Fenix collecting both bounties, and that will force TL away.
They are very low, but they also do have a 4v3 still. Doublelift full health. Still just a Nexus. Oh, he's just got Apollo.
He's gonna shoot him. Okay. He's like, you know what? This was fine this way. Oh, Stasis under a cupcake. Never a good time. Wrong time to be invited to the party. MikeYeung into the fountain. TL maybe gonna dive it, but maybe just gonna finish off the Nexus instead. It's Team Liquid in style with the clinical play they have shown all split long. Just sweeping through Echo Fox.
And with the 13-4 record, Team Liquid has now secured themselves that playoff bye. So they are guaranteed going to be top 4 and heading to Detroit for Summer Finals weekend. Not the most enthusiastic Team Liquid. I'm sure they would have wanted to finish that one off a little bit sooner, but still a start to finish lead in a 31-minute, 40-second victory for TL.
Yep, could have done it last weekend as well, but did pick up that loss to C9 that you mentioned. But Liquid still find themselves the bye. One step closer, one step easier towards the 4th straight LCS title.
Yeah, tomorrow they have a chance to lock up that #1 seed with either a victory over TSM, they have full control whether or not they get first there, or if CLG drops their game, TL will be #1. And for Echo Fox,
it's going to be a real fun day tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day tomorrow with the playoff considerations that we have left. Even after that, it's like the TL-TSM game that you're normally like, oh, that's going to be the big one. It's really smaller implications than some of the other ones, with TSM already being in playoffs and TL already having playoff bye, but it's going to be fun. Yeah,
certainly is. As you mentioned there for Echo Fox, it's been a tough season. I think put a lot of their best feet forward here in the game, but TL's a tough opponent for anyone.
Yeah, the Zoe had some big plays for Fenix. I feel like he's going to hope to build on that a little bit tomorrow. I would have loved to see more out of the double Halo Blades bottom lane, just more plays, but there weren't windows to go in without just inting, right? Like TL was always there in the right spots. So a lot of times you'd say like, why didn't Mike EQ R in? It's because Xmithie was right there, and if you use all your cooldowns to get in, you're gonna die.
Pick the tough lane as well. So like blind Xayah, Rakan going Halo Blades, like Caitlyn Morgana. Yeah. Like, oh wait, now what do we do? Because I think Xayah Rakan's very powerful. Maybe consider it to be one of the best 2v2 lanes, but I think the honor maybe still belongs to Caitlyn Morgana. And when there's quality of players like Doublelift and CoreJJ, it is hard to argue. But we're gonna send it down now to LCS for an interview with the victorious mid laner.
Man, the Akalis have come out to play today, and the crowd is loud for you. I gotta say, with that clean performance that you and the entire team had, what does that do for your morale and your pursuit of that #1 spot?
Honestly, it doesn't mean too much because it was against Echo Fox, but it's always nice to get wins, but I don't think we take too much from beating Echo Fox. They seem like a team that's I think they're out of playoff contention, and looks like they're just trying to finish off the split. So I don't know. I mean, I think as long as we're playing the way we want to, I think we're satisfied.
Well, speaking of playing the way that you want to, and a lot of people are comparing the way things are going this year for TL compared to last year, but this is your first summer split with them. So how has that experience been for you with the fact that you're all able to focus on that #1 spot so aggressively?
It feels nice. It feels like we're just focusing on getting the basics down and basically just playing our own style, because I think last split we started off really strong as well, but then we kind of crumbled towards the end. So I think we're just trying to make sure that we're playing the same way as we've been doing the whole season, and really just focus on making sure that we are not slipping up on the basics.
Well, I have a feeling I know what the answer is going to be then. With TSM as your next opponent, are you worried at all?
I don't know. I don't really know what's happening with TSM. It seems like they're just trying out a lot of stuff, because it seems like the way they played before didn't really work too well. So maybe with the new jungler and Spika, they'll do better. I don't know. I feel like TSM can always be really good, but right now they haven't been looking too well. So I don't know. I feel confident that we'll beat them.
Well, all confidence here on the stage, but of course he's still got his eye on that prize. So to round it out for us here, let's send it over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you, LaTigris. Our first place team throwing down the absolute smash against our 10th place team. It is what you expect out of Team Liquid, but also good to see in the 9th week of play, as one, they have not yet secured that first round bye for playoffs, but two, we just want to see them operating at full power going into the postseason.
I mean, they showed quite a bit of power, but I don't know if that's the full potential that we can have from Team Liquid.
The best team. It wasn't a perfect game. Oh,
sorry, it was close. Yeah.
It was near perfect, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a styling game where everyone had their little moment to look absolutely insane. We had the Trundle pillar interrupt out of Xmithie. You had the 2v1s by Jensen. It was all over the place.
Yeah, honestly, they were out-researched, they were out-drafted, and they were outplayed. Their draft was... It is hard to beat Team Liquid in draft, to be fair. They're very flexible, but the draft is losing. Pretty much their only win condition here is hoping that Zoe can abuse the Akali enough with Jarvan that they can do something, but their bot lane, full counter pick, their top lane is in a bad matchup, so realistically...
This is the Trundle player you're talking about, right?
And this was very clean, right? Look at this. Very
I love that. Fantastic.
That's why you picked the Trundle into the Jarvan. I think that might be a pick we start to see a little bit more. Jarvan becoming so prevalent, then you ban out the Sejuani and Sylas. What's next? Maybe if your Trundle is good enough, you can go to Jarvan.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you always feel bad banning someone out on Team Liquid. Like, are you really going to push Doublelift off his champions? Are you really going to push Xmithie, CoreJJ, Jensen? They all have such deep champion pools. Like, to your point, Artemis, about drafting against them, they are not limited in any single lane, so you can't like pinpoint one thing to pick on like you can versus a lot of other teams.
So talk to me about that then. I mean, like, this is always a tough thing to ask because without revealing your strategies or approaches against Team Liquid, but then what has been your experience going up against this team?
I mean, you got to play to your strengths, right? Team Liquid is a team that covers each other's weaknesses very well, and that's what it means to be a team, right? So, of course, their individual players do have weaknesses, yes, but as a team, they're almost impossible to crack. They have a very disciplined play style. They do almost the same thing every game. So they're face up. You know what they're going to do, and you have to figure out how to beat them. You know, I understand playing a really aggressive mid-jungle 2v2, especially where Fenix is probably your best player, if not one of your best players. So I respect the strategy. To me, though, it felt like their side lanes were going to need too much help to really have a game where Zoe could take over with Jarvan, but yeah, I respect the strategy.
Well, and it played out to those assumptions, to say the least. With that, we're not going to dwell on the game. Team Liquid does take this win to move themselves into the final day of play. Let's go ahead and see how the standings are shaking out before tomorrow's games. We have Team Liquid locking a playoff bye, but not first, as that is still up for grabs. Counter Logic Gaming and Cloud9, they'll be duking it out to finish the split with the second bye, be it in first or second place, while TSM locked the fourth playoff spot at 10-7. We do have the final two playoff spots still up for grabs. And so before we look at tomorrow's games, let's check out your predictions and see how they shook out.
All right, how'd you guys do?
I think I did good.
Wow.
Mark, you have taken the lead in the predictions.
Where's
Oh my
How am I
Lord.
versus StatsBot?
That's the real question.
I will hope
He's
to
the
get
best
that.
one.
So how come you do so well in this but still suck?
Right, you
at
clearly picked the winners, Mark.
That's why I flamed the universe this morning, because I clearly know what I'm talking about, but I curse teams with my stocks. I don't know.
Something doesn't add up in all of that. But still, only one game separating the two of you going into final day of games. That's very exciting. I'll be very curious to see how you guys call things in the different matchups tomorrow. We are going to keep things going with the conclusion of the regular split tomorrow. Things kick off with Optic Gaming versus Cloud9, 100 Thieves playing for their playoff lives versus CLG in Game 2, and then a clash between TSM and Team Liquid shortly after. Now, following our two remaining games of the second round robin, the LCS will play out all tiebreaker matches tomorrow. And currently, here is how the Foldy sheet sees things playing out. We are guaranteed tiebreakers.
Baby.
More League of Legends. If you wanted it, you got it. There are 12 scenarios where there is only one tiebreaker match. There are 8 scenarios remaining where we will play 2 tiebreakers. And there are 12 different scenarios with 3 additional tiebreaker games. That would be the maximum, but we're getting more League of Legends tomorrow, my friends.
Yes. Well, hopefully Clutch wins tomorrow, so we can fold that down and
Can we
eliminate
get the
some tiebreakers.
scenarios with a Clutch victory and see how everything changes?
We got this big segment and talking about all these games. And where's everything about Clutch?
Well, tell us.
Tell us about Clutch.
Yeah,
Are you going to give us that?
Why should we care about Clutch?
DeMonte was complaining that we don't talk enough, so here you go. Floor.
All right, you guys are putting me on the spot, okay? But, you know, it's a new organization with some fresh faces, and we're an exciting team. I think we play great League of Legends. I think we match up well against GGS, and it's going to be a fantastic way to end the season. I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right.
Elimination game.
There you have it. So we just end right
Should
there
have
after
just
Golden
said
Guardians.
you brought tacos at the start of the day, dude. That would have
tacos
really
and
good.
And we had tacos.
And you had tacos. That's the selling point. I wasn't sold until tacos. Now I'm sold. If you need more league action today, though, stay tuned for the LEC rebroadcast where Papa Xmithie graced the Berlin studios for a jam-packed day of games. Before I go, I do want to give a special thank you to both Artemis and Zabatine for joining us here on the desk today. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Fun to be here.
All right, now for myself, the casters, the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more of the LCS. Good night.
This game definitely means a lot. CLG and to fight for a playoff bye. TP is coming in, arrow low on health. The knockup, what a flash! Wiggly's gonna go down! Big gets the kill credit, the last to hit him!
You are paper thin, and Bruno now is in trouble here.
Nokla has the damage!
Later, bro. Nice.
No flash, we win this! Kill Victor!
Yo, they TP guys.
Wait, yo, kill him, what the fuck?
He's 1 HP. Wow, he actually survived from 1 HP, wow, man.
Counter Logic Gaming, one step closer to the playoff bye!
Can we start with the top lane?
Can you guys all talk for me?
Yeah.
Definitely try to talk. Hello.
Diesel?
Yeah.
You guys talk for
Yo,
me.
what's up, bro?
Hello, what's up, bro?
Everyone talk. Start Eric.
Yeah, you guys know that we could only we could run through everyone's audio once for me, and then you could all pay attention, and then we only have to do it once.
Jarvan and Tom in the front.
I'm a bit far.
Victor's 1 HP.
I'm gonna die.
I'm in. I'm on Tom. We win. I'm on Karma.
Cloud9, they are looking to stay alive for the bye.
I have to hit Poppy.
Help me.
Nice. Heading. Corky. Can we look? Yeah, I'm done.
I got flash for Volk. Ignite been burned now as well. Big on the backside. Old flash comes across. There's the resets and 2 kills in. They find the stun. This will be a third. Yeah, believe Amazing is going to go down, and Clutch Gaming in playoff position.
Can we go more?
Yeah,
Maybe Jarvan.
J-Point.
I'm looking. Looking right down here. Yeah.
Here comes Jensen.
Now more fun stuff. Whee! Oh, impact on it. Jensen actually has ulti too. He's going to try this one to MikeYeung. Execution is real good. Xmithie can see that the win is right in front of them.
TSM is looking to draw that mid lane in for the bottom lane to push. However, that comes to the cost of top lane where FLICKR wants this.
Broken Blade gets the Q the minion. It's enough.
Look at Timber, guys. I'm stunned in 2.
There. I feel Jasper. Nice.
I'm stunned in Mega.
Okay, guys, look here.
Nice. They're going to have to get in there. Speaker, do you have it in to find a steal on your foot? Oh, he does!
Back up.
Oh, you got it?
No, we got it.
Go.